Okay, Sanjay Thakker joins us now, and let's connect with him to understand that what are the trends which clearly are visible right now in the luxury car market, and what are the trends which are now there in the entry level and basic cars also. Sanjay, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Last time when we met, it was good news. It was good news, which is demand was high, discounts were low. 2021, has that same trend continued where demand is high and discounts are low?
Yeah. Thanks for having me again. Yes, when we last met, I said that the demand is back. The supply seems to be a kind of an issue. And that statement holds true even stronger today. The other question that you had asked me was whether it was a pent-up demand that was playing out. And I said that really it wasn't the pent-up demand which was fueling this rally. I introspected, and then I have come to this conclusion. India has had a kind of a pent-up demand for last 6 years. And I'm saying this relying on the data which is there. And what is the data saying? The data is showing that Indian automotive market grew at a CAGR of only 1.5% from 2015 onwards. So if there is a pent-up demand, there is a pent-up demand for 6 years. And that's something which is playing out on ground. We have a severe shortage of vehicles. All sizes and shapes of vehicles are getting sold. And we have a waiting period which has been now widely reported in the newspapers.
That's good to hear. Sanjay, could you give us at least some color on what are the categories of cars which are being bought? I mean, within luxury as well, it's a very varied segment with all different price ranges. What are the kind of inquiries that you're getting, and what are the kind of sales happening? Any particular brand that people are gravitating towards? Are they price conscious at all? Or when it comes to luxury, it's no holds barred?
So at Group Landmark, we deal in all kinds of vehicles, mainly premium and luxury, but we also deal in entry-level cars. So what we saw initially was that once the lockdown started to open, it started off with the smaller cars getting sold. The reason being that personal mobility basically trumped everything else. And then slowly, gradually, as things started getting back to normal, and people wanted to travel mid-distances even in their cars, that's when the premium and luxury cars have also picked up. And I don't think anybody saw this coming. And this is world over. It's not only in India that people misread the momentum that would kind of get unleashed because of personal mobility as the main driver. Really, every kind of vehicle is getting sold. Only yesterday, I was talking to one of my store heads, and he mentioned to me that there were a few customers who had come to buy SUVs, and the SUVs were not in a location. We were not in a position to give them for a couple of months, so they ended up buying a small sedan of a different fuel type and went away. So really, this kind of a situation I have not seen in a very long time, if at all I have seen it. So really, every kind of vehicle is getting sold. There is a waiting period for most vehicles. We have had, say, the launch of the new Jeep Compass. And before the first ad has come in today, and I believe we are already sold out for 2 months. Now, this is the kind of market momentum is what we are seeing.
That's quite interesting, given that fuel is so expensive, but that's not keeping or deterring anyone from purchasing new cars. Tell me one thing, Sanjay, we're getting very mixed reviews when it comes to EVs, that's electric vehicles. JLR just announced going all electric by 2025. You got Tesla, which is setting shop in India. How is it that you see customer or consumer acceptance to EVs at a time when the infrastructure for electric vehicles is really not at par with the global standards just yet?
Yeah, I think the electrification is in a way inevitable, is what people have been kind of have got to want to accept it. The question is when. And to us, it looks as if in at least in passenger cars, this will the electric two-wheelers will kind of do much better, much faster adaptation will happen. In passenger cars, we believe that it will take a length of time yet for the prices to come into an affordable range and the infrastructure to kind of come up in India. So it's still a few years away. So I was reading somewhere that the total market for electric passenger cars is maybe just 10,000 units, and that compare this to maybe around 3 lakh units that we sell in a month. So it's hardly it's a serious trend that we are seeing on ground.
Okay, fair enough. On the luxury OEMs as well, Sanjay, Merck has projected a 40% year-on-year growth for the next couple of years. What do you think will drive that revival? And I remember last time we spoke, we discussed this or touched upon it, and some of the growth in the smaller cities or the, outside of the top 4-5 cities as well. What's your sense? How do you see things evolving?
No, that's a good question, and thanks for asking. What has happened is that in the last 5 or 6 years, the entire luxury car market, the size of the market is just under 40,000 units. Forget the COVID year, which was even lower. Now, this is not what India deserves. The luxury car percentage to the total passenger car market has remained stagnant at around 1.2, 1.3%. And this it's pretty low. Say in China, it is 7% of all the cars sold are luxury cars. Now, we need to go and buy better cars and bigger cars, more luxurious cars, and that's the view we have. And there is also a new thing which has happened, and thanks to COVID, there is a terminology that we internally use. It says YOLO. YOLO is you only live once. So, I mean, that being something which is also happening, people are taking better driving holidays. They want better vehicles to enjoy their life and drive in comfort. So I'm really bullish on this segment. We need to break this 40,000 shackle. Our index has broken it. I believe that the luxury car market deserves to go much beyond 40,000 units that we have stagnated for the last maybe 6-7 years.
Okay. Fantastic to hear that. And I think we're expecting almost more than 50 odd launches. Is that, I mean, if we break that up, I mean, between luxury and other, what's the kind of lineup? I mean, and is this going to be enough to lure customers? I know you're sounding very positive overall, but I'm interested to just hear your view on the kind of launches that are in store.
Yeah, so when I was on your show last time around, I kind of gave a small roadmap as to what would keep on having the demand pushed up. One was the model year change of 2021. Then we had the festive season, which was just before my interview the last time around. And then this year is of new launches. And we have had, the Renault Kiger launch yesterday. And it's an overwhelming response that we are seeing on ground. Indians love newness, and they also love discounts, but discounts are not available this year. So they will go for newer cars, and the manufacturers who have new launches coming up will have a great year ahead. We also need to keep in mind that the interest rates are at a multi-year low, and 75% of the vehicles which are bought on financing. So the EMIs are lower. There is wealth creation across. The property prices are going up, the stock market is going up, and people who buy cars really invest in property as well as the stock exchange. So this is something which is a feel-good factor. Car buying is, on one hand, a necessity. On the other hand, it is also an emotional purchase. So people's mood is high, the budget is good. And I believe that we are here for a multi-year kind of a double-digit growth situation that we will have. And please understand, we are coming from a very low base. And at the cost of repetition, I'm saying that we have a lot to catch up. Last 5-6 years, we have not had any growth, any meaningful growth. All the research analysts, when they were asked in 2014, 2015 to kind of predict the the passenger car market, were talking about minimum 4.5 to 5 million vehicles. We are nowhere near that. The sooner we get to that, the better we are. As a nation, it will be a huge thing for nation building and employment. So I am bullish, and I am bullish for a number of years for a number of reasons.